Thanks, everyone. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to our College Assembly for Week 6 and the final College Assembly to be held here in the Christian Brothers Conference Centre for 2021. It's not the Senior Assembly, don't try and be funny. To begin, I'd like to acknowledge the traditional owners of the land on which we gather today, the Turrbal people of Yagara country, and I'd like to pay my respects to the elders.
All that we have achieved this year. Grant us the courage to stay the course and remain faithful to the promise given to us in this community of faith and love. Give us strength so we can reach out in compassion to all those who are faced with challenges and need us to walk with them these last few weeks. May we hold back nothing and hasten to be the ministers of prayer and mercy, like the disciples of him who went about doing good in times of need. Amen. Live Jesus in our hearts. In the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen.
Good morning, Mr. Johnson, colleagues, parents and guests, and gentlemen of Nudgee. As the award winners make their way through to the foyer, it is my pleasure this morning to announce the Old Boy Awards for Semester 2 this year. These awards honour former students who have achieved much in their lives beyond the gates of Nudgee College and who have also contributed much to their communities. As role models, they are inspiring, and to be presented with one of their awards is an honour and a wonderful achievement for any Nudgee College student. I invite Deputy Principal Mr. David Johnson to the stage to present the awards this morning. The Neil McCrossan Award is presented to Year 5 and 6 students who demonstrate our habits of mind of persistence, managing their impulsivity and taking responsible risks. It is named after Neil McCrossan, an old boy of the college from 1902 to 1906. Neil was an outstanding student who achieved the highest junior pass in Queensland in 1904. In 1907, he was a Rhodes Scholar and later went on to be admitted to the bar in 1912 and subsequently served as judge in the Supreme Court of Queensland. He also served as the Chief Justice of the Supreme Court of Queensland at various stages in his career. We congratulate the following award recipients from the junior school, and I ask that you hold your applause to the end of each group. Fletcher Lewis. Jack Roberts, who is absent today, and Charlie Jones. Liam Walker. Charlie Hare. Finn Oliver. And from grade 6, Oscar Webber. Will Bayo. Oliver Byrne. Harry Smith Roberts. Tobias Grant. And Felix Timms. Your Neil McCrossan Award winners. The Ian Brasasco Award is presented to Year 7 students who demonstrate service to the community, persistence, and taking responsible risks. Mr. Ian Brasasco was an old boy who achieved much in his life as a successful businessman, politician, sports administrator, and philanthropist. He was a man of great service to the community. The Year 7 award winners are Cooper Keel, Cooper Galt, Tristan Carter, Oliver Shaw, Michael Donovan, Darcy Hill, Matteo Bianchi, Tom Cooley, and Baxter Witteveen. Your Ian Brasasco Award winners. The Patrick Donovan Award is presented to Year 8 students who demonstrate service to the community, persistence and dedication to classroom excellence. Patrick Francis Donovan was born in Ingham and attended Nudgee College between 1936 and 1938. He applied for the Rhodes Scholarship while serving as an infantry officer in New Guinea during the Second World War. He took up the scholarship in 1946 to Magdalen College, Oxford, where he graduated with a Bachelor of Civil Law. After a successful academic career, Donovan joined the diplomatic service. The Patrick Donovan Award winners from Year 8 are Noah Wright, Zach Robertson, Nathaniel Brown, Dermot Clancy, Alex Smith, Rowan McNamara, Ryan Matthews, Ryan Stewart, and Angus Casey. Your Patrick Donovan Award winners. The Stephen Cook Award is presented to Year 9 students who demonstrate service to the community, compassion and integrity. Stephen Cook is a high achiever who graduated the class of 1990. As college captain, he excelled across many areas of his education and as such was awarded the W. Carlton Smith Award for leadership, character and sport. After graduating from Nudgee, Stephen studied medicine at the University of Queensland and followed this with Royal Australian Air Officer training at Point Cook, Melbourne. He has served in peace enforcing missions in the Middle East and played an integral role in evacuating casualties after the Bali bombing and providing emergency assistance. The Year 9 award winners are Ethan Anderson, Dominic Oswald, Hugo Wendt, Will Curran, Patrick Burchard, Lawson Swain, Tyler Goodall, Alex Paddy, and Cooper McInerney. Your Stephen Cook Award winners. And the Stephen Daly Award is presented to Year 10 students who demonstrate persistence, dedication to classroom excellence, and an authentic version of Nudgee spirit. Stephen Daly attended the college between 1990 and 1994. Stephen trained in veterinary medicine and surgery at UQ, graduating in 2000. He was later awarded a Rhodes Scholarship at Oxford University. In 2013, Dr. Daly shared in the publication of a paper in the Journal of Experimental Medicine. Your Year 10 Stephen Daly Award winners are Jack Balkin, Patrick Bayo, James Swayo, Tom Woodhead, Declan Wright, Kyle Brady, Will Duffield, Thomas Mallet, and Jack Weaver. Your Stephen Daly Award winners. I now welcome Mr. Michael Byrne to the lectern.
Good morning, everyone. The Design and Technology Teachers Association of Queensland Subject Award Program has been established to recognise excellence and outstanding achievements in design and technology subjects across Queensland. The awards serve to provide public recognition for Queensland DT students, incorporating students' work from a variety of design and technology subjects, including some skills and training certificate courses such as construction and engineering pathways. Our dedicated teachers in the technologies and skills and training faculties are very proud of the work of students in their areas of expertise, and they chose to nominate some student projects for the Data Awards. Today, we would like to recognise 3 Nudgee College students who have won the Metro Regional Award in their category. The first award goes to Year 11 student Mackenzie Jones for the 3D printing of his battle robot Zeus that he created in Year 10 engineering. Well done, Mackenzie. ' The next award goes to Year 12 student Jack Carmichael for the trailer he built in the Certificate 2 Engineering Pathways course. Unfortunately, Jack is unable to be with us this morning, but hopefully he's watching online, so well done, Jack. And the final award goes to Year 11 student Luke Berkeley for his butcher's block with an integrated concrete slab top, built in the Certificate 1 construction course. Well done, Luke. The college is very proud of these students' achievements in the area of technologies and skills and training. We wish Mackenzie, Jack and Luke all the best as they proceed and compete to be acknowledged as the overall state winner in each category. Please join me in again congratulating these award winners. I now have the privilege of highlighting an impressive achievement of one of our current Year 11 students. The QMEA is a partnership between the Queensland Resources sector, represented by the Queensland Resources Council and the Queensland Government through its Gateway to Industry Schools program. QMEA is a highly successful program placing students onto pathways into the resources sector and other science, technology, engineering and maths, or STEM industries. Every year, the Queensland Minerals and Energy Academy selects up to 20 of the best and brightest senior students to become QMEA ambassadors. These students are selected from a pool of approximately 5,000 Year 11 students across 90 schools. Students selected as QMEA student ambassadors participate in activities over their Year 12 journey that enables them to increase their understanding of the resources sector, provide opportunities in networking with other students and industry representatives to develop their leadership skills. This year, I am pleased to announce that Harry Blackmore has been selected as a QMEA ambassador for 2022. So Harry is a 2022 studies prefect, is currently on a work and further study pathway at the college. We wish Harry well as he begins this exciting role, and please join me in congratulating Harry again. I now invite Mr. Paul Masters to the stage to speak to you about the Australian Maths competition.
Good morning, Mr. Johnson, special guests, parents, staff and students. It is my honour this morning to present the distinction certificates for the Australian Mathematics competition. First of all, I'd like to thank Ms. Barrett for allowing so many students to come today to witness this presentation. This year, the competition was held during lockdown, so 112 Nudgee students sat the test at home online. They were supervised by Google Meet. This competition is about being able to interpret information quickly and use it effectively. It's about improving skills that are required to solve problems, such as dealing with pandemics or addressing climate change. So congratulations to the boys who challenged themselves to become problem solvers of the future by attempting the Australian Mathematics competition. You will be our heroes of the future. Gentlemen, on the screen soon, you may see a graph. Maybe we can get across to the graph. Ah, beautiful, thank you very much. Some of you, it's a column graph, as you noticed. Some of you may be disappointed that it's not a pie graph, but I thought I'd mess with your minds and present the same information this year in a different form. The benefit of this graph is you can see the symmetry. Ah, the symmetry. We need to appreciate the symmetry, boys. The graph is evenly distributed around the credits. Okay, I'll get you now to hold your applause, keep your energy until after the end of the presentation, boys. No, don't applause, thanks, boys. Thank you, thanks, boys. So today we'll acknowledge the left-hand side of the graph, our distinction and high distinction students. Other competitors, you should have received your certificates, or you will receive your certificates from your maths teacher. I'd like to now ask Mr. Johnson to present the following students with their certificates of distinction or high distinction. And I'll ask again, please hold your applause till the very end. Thank you very much. So, our distinction winners. Liam, in Year 5, Liam Mawson, who could not attend today, is absent. We've got Scott Sibra, and first student, Archie Woodward. In Year 6, Sebastian Matusi, who's absent. Year 7, Harvey Banner. Jeremy Deacon first, then Edward Jerry. Tom Kelleher, Tim Nash, Nicholas Phillip, Alfie Piper, Grady Whisker. Year 8, T-Jazz Ashok, Dermot Clancy, Harper Evangelista, Matthew Heath, Harry Stoneman, and Ash Taylor, who's also absent. Okay. I'll let you applaud these fellas. Congratulations. Thanks, boys. You want to stage right. Year 9 distinction winner, Will Curran, Ben Ditchburn, George Gillam, Liam McBride, Alex Paddy, Dusty Piper, Oscar Oati, Flynn Zara, Year 10, Joseph Wesh, Thomas Strevens from Year 11. If you could applaud these gentlemen, please. Stage right. Now, our final winner is Ethan Cockburn. Ethan is our top award winner for the school. He's in Year 7, he received a high distinction, and he received a score of 2.71 standard deviations above the mean, which puts him in the 100th percentile. Here's a beautiful graph you can see up behind here, and you can see if this represented everyone who attempted the competition, Ethan is there on the far left of that curve. So he's right in the very high performance. So congratulations to Ethan. We'll put it together for Ethan, please. Now, gentlemen, thanks, Dave. Gentlemen, if you missed out on the competition this year, don't worry, there's always next year. Okay, thank you very much.
Good morning, Mr. Johnson, teachers, parents, and my fellow Nudgee brothers. Now, we all know NC Drumline, the large herd of boys marching under Ross as their drums echo throughout the school. Most of you know them for their swinging and cheering practice, but today you'll hear them perform some of their other pieces that they've learned over the year. Today you'll also be hearing from a new addition to Nudgee's roster, the newly formed Junior Drumline. Junior Drumline was formed at the start of the year due to a large number of boys in the junior school wanting to participate. Junior Drumline rehearses on Monday lunchtimes and is open to any junior boys willing to join. In 2022, you'll be hearing a lot more from Junior Drumline as they play alongside NC Drumline at Jeeps matches, Anzac Day, and the Ekka, as well as representing the college and numerous other events. For boys wanting to join either Drumline, you can email music@nudgee.qld.edu.au. Quick reminder, tomorrow at lunchtime, there is a gig on your green. Rock bands 2 and 4 will be performing. Please enjoy.
Can we thank the Drumline one last time, please? It's wonderful to have music up here during the assembly. It's wonderful to see a lot of you back in the assembly. It wasn't the best start, gentlemen, but certainly you've got back into the groove, which we appreciate. So parents, staff, boys, and everyone watching online. In the last year, I've had the opportunity to get to know Declan Cabot really well. Now, for those of you who remember, Declan was our 2020 Ducks. Declan is an intelligent, humble, resilient, mature young man, and he would certainly be angry if he knew I was talking about him right now. I want to quickly touch on some of the things Declan spoke about to you boys at the start of the year. It's a time for you to consider, have you heeded some of his advice? Did you listen to the things he was saying? Declan's first point was simple. Being accepted and coming to Nudgee is a life-changing event. It is important never to lose sight of this and make the most of the opportunities you have been gifted. And it would not hurt occasionally, boys, if you went home and thanked your parents for this gift. We are frequently now having to say no to people who are applying to come to this school. We have long waiting lists in place. So for you to be here is a privilege. The second point he made related to the size and the scope of what Nudgee has to offer. Yes, Nudgee may sometimes appear to be a big pond where it is easy to blend in. But one of the greatest aspects of this school is the diverse opportunities on offer. If you haven't already, gentlemen, each of you should be able to find something you are passionate about. Declan encouraged each of you to be fearless and be prepared to stand out and share your talents. This is particularly important when it comes to academics. Never underestimate your potential or allow yourself to be run down by peer pressure. Instead, rise to the challenge and strive to catch excellence in all that you do. My hope here, as an aside, is that no one ever has to tolerate being run down for academic achievement. There are not too many things that I find more disgusting, to be honest. I would like to suggest it rarely happens. As an aside, Mr. Fuller and I frequently talk about the person you are when people aren't watching. I had an unusual situation yesterday where I know a boy got in trouble for trying to throw things at another boy and get away with it, and then was presented later that day with an award for work he'd done in social justice. To me, that's pure hypocrisy and not the sort of boy we want here at Nudgee. Gentlemen, the person you are when no one's watching is the person you really are. Think about that. Miss Barrett may touch on that a bit more later. Declan highlighted the fact that attitude is everything when it comes to success. You will only get what you work for, not what you wish for. I'll say it again. You will only get what you work for, not what you wish for. It doesn't matter whether you are on the sporting field or in the classroom. Without hard work, the goals you set yourself will not come true. Declan has told me many times he was not the smartest boy in this school. But I tell you what, I think he was the hardest working boy in this school. As exams approach, gentlemen, ask yourself, are you really working as hard as you possibly can? Are you prepared to chase the dream no matter what? If you hit a hurdle along the way this year, I hope you have been able to step back to gain some perspective and renew your motivation and just simply not drop the bundle. Never forget that the hardship will always be worth it in the long run. Declan's final message was to be disciplined. In order to succeed, each of you need to cultivate your organisational skills. With only weeks to go, and we mean only a couple of weeks to go, make sure you are planning a schedule, noting down the due dates of your assessment and your exams, and your training sessions and other events. Make priorities, boys. 2 weeks to go, academics should be your priority. Limit your procrastination. Ensure that when you sit down to study, you know exactly what you need to do and you do it uninterrupted. That means no earphones in, no distractions. Declan finished his speech as follows. Nudgy men, this community that you are a part of is truly something special, so never take it for granted. Best of luck this year. Work hard, persevere, and make the most of the opportunities presented. Dream big, but always remember that you get what you work for, not what you wish for. So boys, let your light shine bright. Inspiring words, gentlemen, from one of your 10,000 brothers. I hope you have let your light shine bright this year and you finish well. Thank you.
Thanks very much, Mr. Johnston. Good morning again to everyone. I share with you this morning some key messages. These are mostly for students, but I just want to start by congratulating every student who's been recognised today. And to the gentlemen in the drum lines, again, you were fantastic. The transition, particularly impressive. And I hope that for all of you, your time on stage this morning allowed all members of our community to be inspired by those old boys who the awards were named after that Mr. Adams spoke about as well this morning. If we head into the slides, we'll look at the week ahead. It doesn't look that busy, but as Mr. Johnston mentioned, we're at the pointy end of the season in terms of assessment and exams, so there's certainly plenty to be doing, but we wish the Year 8s all the best for their camp. And a message to Year 8s, if you have not checked your emails from Mr. Adams in the last 24 hours, you really need to do that because there's important information about your specific location for camp. And as I said earlier, while it doesn't look that busy, it's well and truly a time that you can prepare for exams and make the most of what's left of the year. Looking to our house assemblies next week, you can take note of where your houses are, and for Ross and Tierney, you'll be going to PC. Gentlemen, the next key message I'm sharing with you this morning is mostly aimed at those of you who catch buses to and from Nudgee on a daily basis. However, it's really important that the entire community is across the changes. Mr. Todd spoke earlier in the term about a gradual change to the way in which our bus tickets are paid for. And at Nudgee, we're really fortunate to have a transport system that caters for our students who travel from all areas of Brisbane to attend. And I know for many of our boys, if it wasn't for this service, they wouldn't be able to attend Nudgee College at all. But even if you don't travel on a daily basis or a regular basis, it's a service that we use for excursions and sports and activities, so the following messages are really important for everybody. As Mr. Todd mentioned, ID cards must be used to tap on and off every time, and if you've lost your ID card, you can purchase a new one from the IT department for $10. The process of purchasing paper tickets, so that's the 10-trip tickets that a lot of you use from the tuck shop or the locker room, is about to change, and that's a really important message for you that is different to anything we've done before. So after this Friday, 10-trip tickets will no longer be available for purchase. If you've purchased some and you haven't used them by this Friday, you can still use them up until the end of term. And moving forward, your ID cards will track your bus ticket payments and information via a bus minder account set up by your parents and caregivers. So gentlemen, you don't have to remember all this. Your parents have been your communication has gone to your parents, but it is a slight shift in what you might be doing in terms of your responsibility in purchasing your tickets. If you get to the end of the year and you haven't used the pre-purchased 10-trip tickets, you can get credit put on your bus minder account for 2022. This important change will help us take us into the next phase of a new system, where we purchase and pay for tickets online. Finally, timely reminders that everyone should know, but it's really important that you're reminded of these. Every time, gentlemen, we get on a Nudgee bus, we tap on and off with our ID card. That includes excursions, trips, retreats, activities. The Year 8's going on camp tomorrow. So even if you're a boarder who never catches a bus to and from a local home, it's something that you must be in the practice of and should be in the practice of by now, but it makes things a lot easier for our bus drivers who do a fantastic job making sure we get to where we need to go safely. And it's something that boys need to be in the habit of regularly. And of course, manners and safe behaviour are expected at all times. And the easiest rule of thumb for you to know is school rules apply in terms of how you behave on the bus. It's a privilege that we have access to this system, and we need to ensure we're grateful for that. And this is shown in working with our bus drivers and staff, being organised, being respectful and being patient as we work through these changes. The next information I'd like to bring up with you and share with you this morning, gentlemen, is again a key message that Mr. Todd mentioned in one of our earlier assemblies this term. And it's in relation to the Mount Sion toilets and some ongoing vandalism and damage that's been happening in the school. On what is not always a positive topic, I want to thank the majority of you who continue to do the right thing and show respect for our college facilities and grounds. It's always disappointing and certainly embarrassing to bring to your attention poor behaviour and vandalism. However, it's an important message for our community, both for those who are making the wrong choices and to those who share with myself and Mr. Fulliger and all the staff the frustration that this behaviour in some cases still happening. Gentlemen, let me be really clear. If you continue to vandalise our school facilities, and in particular our toilets and change rooms, you will be risking your enrolment at Nudgee. If you stand by and do nothing or say nothing to trusted staff while others make poor choices around you, you're part of the problem. If you have no idea what I'm talking about, that's really good. But many of you do. And you need to understand that bad things happen when good people do nothing about it. As long as damage is done in any of our toilets or change rooms, there is a negative impact on all of us. We talk openly and often about Nudgee spirit and school pride and 10,000 brothers. If this means anything to you, and I know that it does, then don't walk by and do nothing if you see this happening or you think it might be happening. Recently, our security measures, including cameras, have been upgraded, and I openly share that information with you today. We're not trying to trick you, we're working with you. And you need to understand that if you are in and around a facility at any time, even if you have permission from a classroom teacher to use a bathroom, and there is damage done, there will be follow-up. This has already happened with some of you, and know that this is a process that's in place, and understand you'll be challenged. Understand that that could happen. So my best advice is to use the facilities safely and appropriately during break times, and there's no problems. If you recognise damage when you go to use a facility, you need to report that straight away, either to a staff member or a teacher that's near you. If you're feeling nervous about that, or you're feeling overwhelmed and you don't want to be seen sharing that information, it's really easy to flick an email to myself or your house dean or a staff member that you trust. A small number of boys are causing a problem, but we expect the majority of young men here today to be part of the solution. And to finish, gentlemen, we are in a busy time. I was fortunate enough earlier in the week, actually last week, I gate crashed a house assembly in McKenna. I turned up just as a random visit, and Mr. Keogh was giving a really important but simple message to McKenna House. No doubt, I'm sure this message has gone through to the other houses, but in the event that it hasn't, he made a really good point that we've had a lot of focus on our Year 12s and their valedictory and their leaving and their final assembly. And we celebrate that and we wish them well. But that's about the Year 12s. Everyone else is still here and we all have work to do. And it's not our time to finish. So it's a time to focus and make sure we're finishing the year well. And we're making sure that when we're in the classroom at this time of the year where people and parents and teachers can get a little bit weary, that we're being our best and making sure that our learning environments and our playgrounds are positive for everyone. It's really exciting to be looking forward to a new year, and that's only a matter of 12 school days away till we're transitioning into an older grade. And there's much to look forward to, and I've done some work particularly with our Year 10s and 11s in the last 2 weeks about what that looks like and that change. And while it's important to be looking forward, gentlemen, we need to make sure we finish the year well and we finish the job that we're doing and we focus on what we have left to do in our current year level. And on that note, for the first time, we're going to invite a 2022 senior to do our 3 cheers, and that is our 2022 Vice Captain, Darcy Turner. Come on up, Darcy. I don't know where you are. You're there.
Great cheers for the Old Boys Awards, well deserved, lads. Great cheers for the Design and Technology Award winners and the QMEA
done, Darcy. As always, setting the standard high. Thank you, Darcy. If you're joining us online, you're welcome to switch off, and it's not quite time for midday TV or whatever you're doing, but year 5s and 6s, you're definitely back to the classroom. To our parents and guests, I invite you at your own time. You may now exit the hall. To everyone else, Nudgy Men, I'd like you to stay seated.